Let me tell you a story. It's kind of funny, but not really funny all at the same time. Over the last few months, if you've been watching my channel, you know that things have been, well, a bit intense. A lot of shifting, a lot of energy, and of course, a lot of growth has been happening. And something kept happening that I didn't really fully understand at first. Things from my past, different situations, feelings, triggers, well, they kept coming back up. And I remember thinking, well, why is this happening again? I thought I already healed through this. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I see it so clearly. And I see that these things were not random. They were done specifically because God was testing me. God wanted to see, okay, where are you at? Okay, beautiful souls, welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. My name is Cassie, and on this channel, we talk all things of healing, self-love, and self-care, and of course, becoming your dream woman. So when you're on a healing journey, especially one with God, you are going to have to understand this. Healing is definitely not linear. You don't just heal something once and voila, it disappears forever. No, wouldn't that be so good? But unfortunately, things don't work that way. Instead, life will bring it back around, not to hurt you, but to ask you some questions. So God might bring it around to ask you, did you really learn that lesson? Are you responding differently now? And or are you still behaving like that old version of yourself? Or have you truly grown to become someone new? And every time something came, back up in my life, I noticed something. At first, I still had some reactions sometimes. I would get frustrated, triggered, become emotional. And when that happened, that showed me something very important, that there was still healing work needed to be done. But then things shifted. There were moments where things came up and I was calm as a clam. I wasn't spiraling. I wasn't angry. I just looked at it like, okay, I see ya, but I'm not there anymore. And that's when I really, truly realized that it was a test and that I passed. And oh my goodness, when you pass these tests, like you just give yourself a pat on the back, like, oh, yes, I'm so glad I won that one, So when something triggers you, it triggers you because it is revealing a version of you that is needing some type of healing, right? So the old version of you would react emotionally, get overwhelmed, spiraling out of control. And that new version of you, well, they would observe, stay grounded, and respond with peace. All that difference is very important because if you're still reacting, that doesn't mean that you are failing. It just means that there's still something there that needs your attention. And the sooner you can give it your attention, the better off you will be. I used to get frustrated. I used to think like, oh, why am I still dealing with this? I thought I healed this already. But the truth is, if it's still affecting you, it's not fully healed yet. And that is okay. Triggers are not setbacks. They are actually invitations. They're showing you exactly where you need to go deeper. I always say this. Life is like a video game. You've got levels, you've got challenges, and you've got lessons. And you don't get to move to the next level until you pass the test. So when something comes back around, it's not punishment. It's the same level asking you, are you ready now? And now let's be real. In this moment, it's hard, right? It's like, ooh, sometimes, you're triggered and you can't even think clearly about it. But if you can, try to pause and ask yourself, why is this still affecting me? What belief is still attached to this thing? What part of me still needs a bit of healing? And instead of reacting, try to get curious. Instead of spiraling, go inward. And I know it's hard. I've been there and done that. Of things spiraling out of control and not taking that moment to really reflect. But when you start on your healing journey and you're doing the deep work, it really helps because you become more emotionally mature and you become more aware, and these things do get easier as time goes on. Something else that I had to learn on this journey of mine. God is not interested in surface level healing, okay? He's not looking for you just to look healed. No. He wants you to be healed fully, deeply, and honestly. Because if you're being called to something bigger, if you're meant to help others, if you are meant to work in God's kingdom, you cannot be unstable in your triggers. You can't be peaceful one day and completely reactive the next. That's why this process feels so intense. And this isn't just about you. This is about your family, your children, and your future generations. Because if you don't heal it, it gets passed down through stories, through different beliefs, and through your behaviors. And suddenly, generations are carrying the same pain, all because no one stopped to do the work. You are breaking the cycle. You are doing this work. And let me tell you something. On the other side of this work, there is peace, there is freedom, and there is joy. I've been on this healing journey with God for almost 3 years now. And it honestly feels like I have done between 10 to 20 years worth of work. So it hasn't been easy. Yes, it has been intense. But today, I'm not that same person. I don't react the same. I don't carry that anger anymore. I feel lighter. I feel free. And that is worth everything. All of the ups and downs and the bads with this. The bad is when you have to start looking at yourself and you have to start, asking yourself some deep questions that you don't really want to go deep with, right? That's what I'm saying. Things can get a little rough when God is calling you to get out of your comfort zone and go deeper into yourself to dig out some things that truly needs to be healed. If you're in this season where things are, keep coming back up for you, don't get discouraged. Don't see it as a failure. See it as a refinement. See it as preparation. See it as God saying, we're going deeper because I have more for you. And if this resonated with you, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And just know that God has intention for all of this. God's work, you may not be able to see why, right? We don't know why all of this is happening, but we just know that there is a reason for it, especially in the beginning. And as you go along, you kind of figure out the reason. And my reason is I had to go deep within my healing journey and get everything out because as I mentioned here, like I couldn't be reactive one day and good the next, because I would be all over the place. People wouldn't trust me. And how would I be able to help people heal if I was still a mess myself? So I had to really get clear with myself and make sure that I was good and calm and I can handle things even when those triggers may come up. But, you know, not in a reactive way, just to be able to see them like, okay, yeah, I see you, but we're not going to entertain that anymore, right? Healing may take you through some darkness, but there is light on the other side. You end up becoming someone that you never thought was possible. And I hope that you say yes to your healing. And I hope that you know that when you are being triggered and things are, you know, continuing to come up for you, that it is all purposeful. And I just want to remind you, if you are on this journey with God and you are trying to become closer with God, I want you to really put more effort into reading the Bible, because reading the Bible is going to help you understand God on levels that you will never be able to understand, and that will help you get more clarity of why he does some of the things that he does. Have even started reading the Bible, or maybe you just heard some stories. All of the people who were God's disciples, they didn't just get handed anything. No, they had to go through a process of refinement, of, you know, healing, of all these different things, purification and things like that, to become the version of themselves that God can use. And so after all of the toughness, right? Because they had to go through some tough times too. Like I said, some of them were imprisoned, some of them were sold, some of them were scared and all these different things, right? With all of that, they still kept their faith. They still was able to come out the other end and get their promises that God was promising them. But they had to go through some dark times to get there. And I'm not saying you're going to have to go through super dark times like that, because you've already gone through them, right? Most of the time, if you're here, you've already gone through your dark season. And now it's time to get over the darkness and walk more into the light. So I love you. I hope this was helpful. And remember that we're in this together, and lose hope and just keep on working to become that best version of you. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.